the last video that I recorded to answer Claire's question about blocking the guidance from the universe regarding her teen, I mentioned something about not understanding the guidance you receive. Today, I want to share some information that will help you understand clearly the guidance you receive from the universe. Many years ago, my daughters, when she was about 11, my oldest one was suffering from some anxiety to a point where the doctor at the time wanted to give her Xanax. And of course I said no. We worked with it, and I was receiving guidance from the universe through my dreams. I remember that before we even knew what it was, because she was throwing up a lot, and before we even knew what it was, they were running tests and everything. I had a dream several times, a recurring dream, of a feline. So sometimes it was a tiger and sometimes it was a panther or guépard. Guépard is French for leopard, or cheetah, going around us, circling us, but never attacking. And I learned to decipher that dream. It meant that there was something going around and that represented my daughter's sickness, but it was not dangerous because it never attacked, it never hurt. And this was coming back a lot. And at the end, when we discovered that it was anxiety, creating very, very weird symptoms. Sometimes we were in the ER once and she became blind from one eye. All that created by stress and anxiety, I want to mention. I knew instinctively that it wasn't dangerous, so I was able to calm down and really attend to her and help her better. Until one night, and that's how I discovered actually through that period of time that I was able to channel healing energy in my hands. And that's how a friend of mine who was a psychic and a Reiki teacher recommended that I got trained in Reiki. Because every night I was sending energy to my daughter and I was taking whatever was disturbing her sickness, and giving it to God. And I was doing that every night until one day it stopped. And before it stopped, the night before, I dreamt that I had some snakes under her bed, and that I was able to burn the snakes and they became ashes. And the very next day she stopped throwing up. So I started taking notes of my symbols, because it's great to buy books about what dreams mean, but it's even better when it's your own symbols and you understand them better. So what I would encourage you to do, and we'll do a process in a future video to even show you how your brain and your imagination knows how to guide you with your own symbols. What I would encourage you to do is, if you know that some things are very symbolic to you, take a notepad, a tiny, can be as small as that. I keep a lot of stuff in there. And start writing down what things mean to you. And you can even, I have some oracle cards about medicine, animal medicine. You can look without reading it at animals and feel, what does a dragonfly means to you? I know for me, and I never looked at the meaning in that book or anywhere else. For me, dragonflies, when I see a dragonfly, and I'm not, of course, not when I go to a pond and there are many of them, so I know I will see one. The other day there was one in my house, in my home, and I live on the 6th floor, so it's very unusual. When I see a dragonfly, it means lighten up. Don't be so serious. Be lighter. When I see a hummingbird, same thing. I moved in a house when I was living in the US once, and one hummingbird was inside the house. It came the first day we went in the house, came inside the house and was circling around the fan until it landed on one of the blades. We were trying to think about a way to take them out, and my daughter had that idea. We had some kind of a long stick for my cat as a toy. She put a fake flower on it, and she led the hummingbird outside. For me, hummingbirds are always about joy because they're very joyful. I love having the feeders outside and seeing them feed, and it represents joy. So when a hummingbird like that came into the house, I knew it was a good omen. It meant that we would have a lot of joyful experience in this house, because to me it means joy. So start inventorying things that have a symbolic meaning to you, like a key. Of course, a key to a problem, a key to opening a door. It's very symbolic. Sometimes when we do meditations, when I do visualizations with my clients, I bring them to receive an object from their ancestors or their guides. And they always know what it means, because we know. There are overall symbols in our cultures, in our societies, but you also have your own. So that's what I wanted to share today, because we're talking a lot about receiving guidance to help you parent and live better. And I thought it was a very important detail. Let me know, I'm curious. Put below. I gave you a few of my own symbols. I'm curious to know yours. Put them below this video so that we can all share and compare. That's going to be fun. As usual, if you love this video, please give it a thumb up. And I just had a thought, because as a French person, to say a thumb up is quite an exercise for my tongue. You wouldn't believe. So every time I say that, it's like efforting. Sorry, I may change that belief because I want it to become smoother, so I'm going to start working on that. If you want to be sure to not miss any future videos, subscribe to this channel. And if you know someone who could benefit from what I've shared today, please share it with them. I'm sending you a ton of love, and I'll see you in another video.